As you may know, we live mainly in the United States, where we have one of the best healthcare systems in the world.
So bad that we've had to take matters into our own hands.
Also, because we are 26 and 27, we've done the whole run to CVS, try to find a little product that works for something so you don't have to go to the doctor.
Try to like harass as many doctors you meet out of nowhere and ask them what to do because you can't actually pay for a visit.
The numerous Google searches where you end up like self-diagnosing something that's a lot more intense than it actually is.
Trying every over-the-counter medication and homeopathic options. We have done it all, and now we're going to tell you what we've done to cure our ailments that we didn't have money to pay for a doctor to fix.
You know, redness and like
itching,
dry patches,
and like burning,
like intense sensations,
like clamminess,
maybe like some oozing,
like chafage.
Okay,
that's gross.
Okay, that's real gross. That didn't ever happen to us.
Lies.
Here are the best products you can get here in the United States when you don't have health insurance.
Also, this is not a sponsored video. This is just genuinely trying to help you save hundreds of dollars and itchy days. Like, how am I gonna pay $200 a month to have an insurance plan where I have a $9,000 deductible? And no, if you're wondering, that $200 a month does not count towards my deductible, meaning I will pay out of pocket until I reach $9,000. And I'm never gonna reach $9,000.
You want to talk about how you can't even enroll in insurance when you need it? Like, it's only during special
enrollment period? Like,
and then if you aren't in the enrollment period, you have to have a qualifying life event.
Correct. As if
which
like
we never qualify for.
Somehow. It's like you miss by one bullet point, you like can't qualify.
And then even if you have hit your deductible, you still have to pay a copay. Everyone in the States is like, but we have the best health insurance ever.
And no.
No.
You don't.
Have you ever been treated in another country? Because we have.
Sometimes it's cheaper to literally travel to Mexico and go get treated there. I've done that.
I mean, do we need to talk about how I was smuggling Amoxicillin at one point? That's only partly true.
No, but like, that's what's interesting about traveling is that when you go abroad, you may think the rules are still the same, like you need a prescription for certain drugs, but that is not the case, which is why we know exactly what countries to go to get our hands on the right drugs.
Now let me just clarify something. I wouldn't have this many hygiene products if maybe my healthcare system worked for me. So instead, I gotta carry around all this to cure all my illnesses. It's always gotta be something, right? Like if it's not chapped lips, you have a headache. And if it's not a headache, then you feel sick. And then if it's not sick, you have a new pimple. Like, after traveling a lot in Brazil and tropical countries where I'm drinking a lot of fruit juices or eating a lot of acai bowls, sometimes I'll develop a cavity. I don't have dental insurance. I was like, oh, I don't want to go to the dentist, it's gonna be so much money. Instead, I Googled, and I know this is a controversial ingredient, but fluoride mouthwash. I got fluoride mouthwash, generic brand, swished with it maybe 2-3 times a day, and maybe my cavity didn't go away, but I haven't felt it in probably a year now. No more cavities. But I think my wisdom teeth might be coming in, so that'll be fun to pay.
Well, on the subject of canker sores, there's also another product called Anbesol, which is another, basically like Orajel. It numbs your mouth before you eat, so when you eat, you can actually enjoy the process of eating. You won't be able to taste anything, but at least you won't feel like food is ripping your insides out as it goes down your throat.
Because I'm 26, wow, not 26. Because I'm 27, almost 28, I have realized the foods that kind of like fuck up my mouth a little bit. Those include kiwi, pineapple, anything that's super acidic, and thus, mouth sore gel. Any kind, honestly, has worked. There's one in Europe called Panasol or something. Or the magic cure to everything is basically a warm glass of salt water.
If you followed the channel for a while, you know that I lose my voice all the time, and it's because I don't shut the But a cure for that is gargling with warm water and salt. And you do that every night and it will like help retreat your vocal cords back to normal. It also helps prevent the bacteria that creates canker sores. Ew, that's gross.
Sore throats, mouth sores, pain in your mouth, canker sores, cold sores, all of it, use salt water. In fact, now that I think about it, when I lived in LA and I kind of went to the beach, the combination of like the sunshine and the salt water, I was like healthy and glowing every day. White strips really hurt my teeth, but that's because in the States they use 30% peroxide, something like that. It's a higher percentage of of the peroxide, the ingredient. If you go to the UK or France, like the ingredient's a lot lower because their governments have declared the high percentage of the ingredient to be like unlawful. I discovered that when I paid for teeth whitening in London, and I realized my teeth weren't sensitive at all, and they were like, oh, that's because in the States you guys ruin your teeth at teeth whitening. So I'm like, super interesting, right? Like to learn how we all kind of just accept our government's ratings of these products when other countries might rate them better or worse. If your teeth are very sensitive when you're teeth whitening, switch to something like this. It's a charcoal tooth powder that you mix with your toothpaste. It'll get all over your sink and be very dirty and look like you never clean up, but it does the trick and whitens your teeth. One of my all-time favorite YouTubers of all time, y'all. Her name is Susan Winter. She is a counselor slash life coach slash therapist, and she does all of her videos online. You know I'm a hopeless romantic, so I still watch her videos even when they don't even apply. Should you wait or move on? They want you, but not a relationship. How to get closer when they pull away. Susan Winter, I love you. But I am gay.
People often forget about mental health as a part of their health routine, but something that helps me keep my sanity is journaling at least once or twice a week. So instead of bitching to other people, I'll just bitch to myself in the pages of my journal that hopefully will not get stolen and read and published online. Knock on wood. And find alone time because that helps with your mental health. So make time for you. Like shit, take a day off once a week. I do Joe Sundays where I could choose to work, but if I don't feel like it, I don't feel guilty because I've carved out a day of the week for me, and that's for my mental health, so I don't go insane, and it helps everybody in the end.
American websites, just like the American healthcare system, is so talented in getting you to think that your condition is worse than it is to make you spend more money on their products. That's what's sickening. Like, you want to talk about sicknesses? That's the sickness. If you want to look up your symptoms online, go to the National Health Service. This is the UK's like government healthcare. I'm sure to those living in the UK, they're kind of like, oh, I hate the NHS. When you're an outsider coming into the NHS, especially from the United States, the NHS is God. Let's just think of something. NHS, sore throat. And instead of being like, you need to get this checked out because this could lead on to more severe symptoms, at which point you might develop throat cancer, the NHS would be like, sore throats are very common and usually nothing to worry about. They normally get better by themselves within a week. How to treat yourself for a sore throat. Gargle with salt water. It says they have a YouTube video. Then you go down here. A pharmacist can help with sore throats. They tell you the products you should buy. Oh, find a pharmacy. See a general practitioner if. Years ago, I kept getting sore throats over and over. At one point, a doctor, a Walgreens clinic, by the way, walk-in clinic, check those out. They said that it was post-nasal drip after a flu or something. I had a sore throat. And so Joe and I started traveling. I was in Thailand. I told the pharmacist that I had a really bad sore throat, and he's like, okay, let's give you some Amoxicillin. I'm like, don't I have to go to a doctor to get a prescription? He's like, no, we sell it over the counter here. Nowadays, if you have sore throats, first off, if you're in France, you gotta use Strepsils with lidocaine. It numbs it. In the States, I think Strepsils is called Cepacol, and I'm not sure if the ingredients are the same. Typically, they aren't. In fact, let's check this out. I have Oragel here, and this is Oragel from the UK. This is what I'm telling you. I bought this one in the UK. This one is 10%, and I think that was the maximum you could get in the UK. Don't quote me on that. I got this one the other day, because I thought I lost this. This one's 20% benzocaine. I don't know if more is better. If you don't have access to amoxicillin, which would kill the bacteria infection, you can go to a health food store, get some liquid propolis. Again, I had never even heard of this word until I went to Brazil, and everyone's like, oh, you have a sore throat? Use propolis. It tastes like licorice. You drop this into a glass of water, mix it around, drink it, you're good. A lot of times when you feel like you're getting sick and you want to boost your immune system, you go to the pharmacy and they're like, oh, just take some vitamin C. Has that ever worked for you? I need more than just vitamin C. So I believe Joe talked about counterattack.
Counterattack is the go-to natural way to prevent getting sick in the first place. It's kind of a big pill. You take one a day, even if you're not feeling any symptoms, and I swear to you, I haven't gotten severely sick with like a cold or flu or anything in almost a year. We also use oregano oil.
Go get oregano oil. They come in like little tablets. Your breath will smell like you just ate a pizza, but it does work for nausea, boosting your immune system.
Or like in France, there's Gelée Royale, which is like royal jelly from honeys that helps you like boost up your immunity. I swear to you, those work because I haven't gotten sick in almost a year.
Because we travel all over the place, sometimes we have an issue with jet lag, and sometimes you just need to fall asleep. Everyone had told me to use melatonin, and I was like, that sounds kind of weird to take a pill to fall asleep. I don't want to become dependent. I became everything but dependent on melatonin because I used it, and while it did make me fall asleep, I used 1 milligram pills from Whole Foods. You fall asleep and then you have nightmares, so your sleep isn't even good.
Skin, it's the biggest organ in our body, which means that it will most likely cause you the most problems, whether it's acne or ingrown hairs. We got you covered. 10 Skin. This is expensive, but it's always very useful. You basically use it for ingrown hairs, razor bumps, shaving, and waxing for women and men because we all got hair follicles that be acting up sometimes.
I have definitely used 10 Skin too. In the shower, grab one of these, warm water, press. It'll like kind of flatten. Get out of the shower, use some 10 Skin like Joe said.
You put this on and it burns like hell, but it will save you that pain.
Dab it on, but don't dab it on too crazy because that really burns, and like that's not the area you want it to be burning.
10 Skin, the minute you shave and you feel like you might get razor burn, it's worth the $18, trust me. Whenever you're in Mexico, maybe other countries have this too, but Mexico is like my favorite place to get this. You're in a pharmacy and you see Retin-A, get this. This is like what doctors in the US prescribe for sometimes hundreds of dollars. It basically just overturns your skin cells. So if you have cystic acne, you probably would need this, and this is what the doctor would prescribe to you in the States, but you can get this over the counter in Mexico for $30 US, and they were trying to charge me like $200 in the States.
I'm like a Whole Foods hoe. Like I walk around Whole Foods and I could spend all day in there, up and down the aisles, just like looking at the back of the product, seeing what's in it. For the past maybe 2 years, I've been such a fan of these I don't even know what these are, homeopathic tablets. This one's for sulfur because I swear it works for your face, acne, if you have red marks. They have these for everything. I think they even had one for stage fright. I was a little hesitant at first because I'm like, this is gonna make me better, and it really did.
Also like, oh, muscle tension, pains in your back, in your neck. Tiger Balm. Tiger Balm was everywhere in Thailand, which is when I started using it. Tiger Balm is like the go-to anytime you're sore or have muscle tightness because it relaxes you and it makes you feel like a new person. You know what I'm saying? Anybody want to come rub Tiger Balm on me?
3 years ago, I would go to the swimming pool all the time, and I would never wear flip-flops because I never wanted to take them to the gym, because that was one other thing in my backpack. What happened? I ended up getting like a wart on my foot that was so gross. I was so self-conscious about it that I wouldn't even want to like put my feet up at the pool. So anyways, I ended up finding a product that did work. Bazooka! And I have it right at my side just in case it ever comes back. I tried so many home remedies for that, y'all. Oh, just buy some nail polish. You're supposed to like paint the little wart and then it'll dry out. That didn't work. Oh, just use duct tape. Had duct tape on my toes for like months at a time. That didn't work.
If you are like me and somehow get itchy rashes that come out of nowhere, or you need to dry out something that's awfully juicy on your skin, it isn't supposed to be, calamine lotion. It's super cheap and will cool off anything that's like burning. Anything that's like a rash, just slap calamine lotion on it and it'll probably help.
Speaking of skin, if you ever have a skin infection, what they always tell you to buy is hydrocortisone first, or you'll spend all this money going to the dermatologist and they'll be like, oh, just use Head & Shoulders. They're gonna say get Head & Shoulders, but you have to get the clinical solutions with selenium sulfide, because apparently selenium sulfide is what helps fight the bacteria that causes fungus on our faces. Apparently we all have fungus on our face, right? Like yeast fungus. When there's an overgrowth of the fungus, you get discoloration, like red patches, white patches. Back in high school, I had these weird white splotches that appeared on my face. Went to the dermatologist and he recommended this. And I used it and then it worked. It not only works for fungal skin infections, but also jock itch, ringworm. Well, I guess both of those are fungal infections, but it would work for that too. Good luck.
Ladies, let's talk about the hoo-ha, the cooterville. Yes, I call it cooterville. And yes, I also call it a hoo-ha. But your vag, the vagina. A lot of people walk around acting like we don't have vaginas or penises, but the truth is, we all got them, and some of them stink. Always have Monistat in your backpack / in your suitcase ready, so that if you get a yeast infection, you could just pop in that little like oval thing, and have Vagisil ready for those itchy days. Because women's vaginas are like closed. That's like a breeding ground for bacteria. And if you're hopping time zones and you're not sleeping enough, things will get off balance. And so make sure you're taking your probiotics one. That yogurt will help. Also like kombucha or apple cider vinegar. If it's really bad and you don't have time or you don't know where to go to a doctor, always have like a backup Monistat ready to go so that you can get enough relief so that you're not walking around like this. You know we've all done it. You know we've all done it. Or you're like, yeah, oh my god, my day's going so good. You don't need to suffer, okay? And if you're afraid of, having had a little slip up where you're like, you had a little sexual encounter and like you're not sure when your period's gonna come, and there are apps for that, and I use them. This isn't a sponsored video, but I genuinely do use Clue, the app, because it's like very standard. You say when you had your last period and they predict when you should have your next period, so you can plan to have like whatever you use, tampons, pads, Diva Cup, whatever, you have that ready for when you're on the road. Because some places you can't find those items. Like some places will not sell tampons. Like I remember I got my period in Egypt and it was like the worst thing ever to try to find my utensils there. You know what I'm saying? If you had a slip up and you need that Plan B, which is an over-the-counter like morning after pill, you can go talk to the pharmacist. Sometimes it's actually in the aisle and you could just get Plan B like there. My ladies, on the subject of getting your period, if you're having cramps, like once again, we don't need to suffer. Find the medicine that works for you. For me, for some reason, Midol is the only thing that works for me when I have cramps. Let me know if it works for you anyways.
Depending on the level of, sexual activity that you're having, you should probably consider getting tested every few months. And I say every few months because I've realized in different countries, they have different rules for this. Like in the States, everyone's like, oh, you should probably get tested every 3 months. Then when I hit the 3-month mark in Paris, where I had been sexually active, they were like, oh, well, sir, if you have no symptoms and everything's good, then why are you here? I'm like, I don't think you have to have symptoms to have an STD or STI, so maybe I should get tested somewhere else. If you're not going to the doctor and getting routine checkups, order a test kit at home, like a self-home test kit. In the UK, they do this so well. The NHS sends you a test kit so discreetly. You get tested for everything, everywhere. You send it in, and then they send you a text like, hey, your results are ready. And then if you're negative or positive, they tell you different clinics you can go to. All for free. You can go to LGBT centers and get tested for free. I've done that. Ooh, there was this time in Belgium when I was like, so it's not stinging, nor is it burning, nor is it that uncomfortable, but something is definitely off. So I went to the doctor and paid what, like 60 euros, I think it was, to be seen. Then he's like, okay, well, all your tests are negative. Why don't you go to the pharmacy and ask for like a cranberry pill? And I'm like, cranberry pill, that's for a UTI. So I go to the pharmacy and I explain my symptoms to the pharmacist, and she's like, well, I don't think you have a UTI because those aren't the same symptoms as a UTI, but take this cranberry pill and see if it's something with your bladder. And so I took the cranberry pill, and I also like went immediately to the grocery store and downed like 3 kombuchas, cranberry flavored. And in the next few days, everything was good. And look, I still got them. UriCran from Belgium.
Health, okay? People always skip out on the digestion. You're young, you can eat whatever you want, and then when you get older, you're like, whoa, what is that? Especially if you're traveling a lot. So here's how to prevent problems in your digestive system. Take a probiotic a day, like a week before a trip, anywhere that you might be concerned about your, intestines reacting a certain way. And if that doesn't work and you get the runs, there's always Imodium AD. So Imodium AD will basically lock everything in your stomach, and then you probably won't be able to poop for a few days. And then if you still can't poop, there's Ducolax. And Ducolax is the opposite. It's basically a laxative. I've had to use all 3 of those. And then there's like gas pain that could actually be camouflaged as you're having a heart attack. Some people literally go to the emergency room because they have such bad gas that they think they're having a heart attack. That's me. And to prevent that, sometimes I take Beano or Gas X, whatever's nearest, to be honest, or just like avoid eating dairy, because that also does the trick.
I would have insurance if it made sense, but like Joe, I had a plan for $163 a month, and I was paying and paying and paying, and you had to hit a $7,000 deductible, meaning you have to pay $7,000 first before your insurance kicks in that you're paying $163 a month for. I have to like break my arm, pay $7,000 out of pocket, then my insurance will start working. There was one time when I was paying for insurance monthly that I tried to go see a doctor in New York, even though I was residing in Los Angeles, and they wouldn't see me because my insurance didn't work in New York. The doctor accepts my insurance, but it's just that my plan that I was on only works in Los Angeles County. That makes sense, right? How can you not feel enraged by it? How are the people who are still defending how this works? The people who are defending how this works are the people who haven't traveled to see how easy it is anywhere else. Here are the countries that I've seen a doctor in or I've gone to a clinic in. The UK, Nice, France, Brussels, Belgium, Vienna, Austria, somewhere in Mexico, Thailand. I just went to the pharmacy in Thailand. Anyways, in all those places, I think I waited no longer than an hour anywhere to be seen by a doctor with no insurance, nothing. It was maybe 50 euros, which is probably like $60. And then for any prescription, I don't think I ever paid more than 15 euros. That's like $20. All right, that's enough talk.
And that's it for me. Comment below if I forgot anything. Let me know your thoughts on all the things that we recommended. And the only reason why I'm still awake, because I've been awake for like 12 hours filming, is because I've taken a once daily high energy pill. It's all natural, guys. Best health to all of you. I'm gonna try my hardest over here to not get sick because again, bad health insurance is real. That's real.
Please let us know if there are any products from your country or products in the States that we need to know about.
Or things that are like not taboo in your country to get over the counter, like Vagisil. Here you like go in the aisle and you're like, like put on sunglasses. It shouldn't be like that.
All right, see you in the next video.
Bye. Hopefully you don't need to use any of the products. Don't forget to buy our merch.
It pays the medical bills. Please help us.
Please, yeah.
This is from Italy. Betamethasone Valerato.
Greek medicine, Italian medicine, Mexican medicine, like I have everything but American medicine.
Nasal spray from France. Okay, anyway. This healthcare system in the United States is not okay. It's real.
Like, really bad.